Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Noir History. I'm Natasha, and in this episode, I'll be sharing what I've learned about Aimé Césaire. Aimé Fernand David Césaire was born on June 26, 1913 in Basse-Pointe, Martinique. His father, Fernand, earned a living as a minor government official while his mother, Eleanor, worked as a seamstress. Césaire was the second of his parents' 6 children. In later writings, he described a childhood marked by poverty, but sources describe his family as being low to middle income. Césaire learned to read and write French at a young age. His family relocated to Fort-de-France, the capital, for Césaire to attend the Lycée Scolaire. The Lycée Scolaire was the only secondary school available for Martinique and 2 other French Caribbean countries. The school system utilized an elitist French structure at a time when many Martinicans outside the capital spoke Creole. Césaire thrived in this environment and stood out as a gifted student who won awards. His geography teacher, Eugène River, helped nominate Césaire for admission to the École Normale Supérieure. The École Normale Supérieure was the premier liberal arts school in France. Césaire moved to Paris in 1931 to attend the Lycée Louis-le-Grand in preparation for the École Normale Supérieure. While in Paris, Césaire met and befriended Léopold Sédar Senghor of Senegal and Léon Dama of French Guiana. Césaire immersed himself in learning about various social and economic ideologies. He explored African cultures and the then-current anti-colonialist movement. A budding writer, Césaire extensively read the work of Harlem Renaissance writers. In 1934, Césaire launched Étudiant Noir, Black Student, with Senghor and Damas. Étudiant Noir was a student journal that was intended to unite students from Africa and the West Indies. It contained articles that dismissed the expectation that black students should culturally assimilate into mainstream society. Instead, the trio promoted the idea of negritude, a term coined by Césaire. Negritude was used to describe a philosophy of letting go of colonial-imposed self-hatred in favor of taking pride in African heritage. Put another way, dismissing the idea of black inferiority and instead embracing the cultural and physical aspects of blackness. While continuing to promote the idea of negritude, Césaire began his studies at École Normale Supérieure in 1935. During this period, Césaire passed the competitive national exam that created a pathway to teaching. He met Suzanne Roussy, a fellow student from Martinique who was a fierce supporter of negritude. The couple married in 1937 and their union would produce 6 children. They returned to Martinique in 1939 and began teaching at Lycée Scolaire. In 1935, Césaire had begun work on Cahiers d'un retour au pays natal, or Cahiers, the long-form autobiographical poem which further expressed Césaire's ideas of negritude, was first published in Volantes in 1939. It did not receive much attention. When Breton, the French surrealist writer and poet, visited Martinique in 1941, he came across a copy and was so impressed that he helped relaunch Césaire's poetry career. Additional versions were published in book form in Spanish, 1942, and French, 1947, but Césaire's heavily revised 1956 version is regarded by many as being the best. Upon returning to Martinique, Césaire and his wife joined with other collaborators to launch another journal, Tropiques. In addition to negritude, this journal included facets of other ideologies including surrealism and Marxism. It also served as an outlet for speaking out against the Vichy colonialist government of Nazi-occupied France. Césaire joined the French Communist Party, the PCF, which emerged in opposition to the Vichy government. In 1945, at the age of 32, Césaire was elected mayor of Fort-de-France. Excluding a brief absence, Césaire would hold the mayoral position for the next 56 years. In 1946, he was chosen as deputy for Martinique to the National Assembly in Paris and remained in that position until he retired in 1993. During his tenure, Césaire helped to negotiate Martinique's political integration rather than independence from France. Martinique was among a group of French colonies whose development had been neglected. With this new arrangement, Martinique would be considered an overseas department of France while receiving subsidies. The hope was that Martinique would have increased autonomy while using the subsidies to quickly raise its standard of living. Césaire continued to be elected, but could never quite please all factions of the political landscape. While Cahiers was regarded as a seminal literary work in the years after its release, the work, along with the ideology of negritude, were regarded by some as being outdated and unrealistic in future years. He was also criticized for deriding assimilation while writing in French rather than Creole. While Césaire continued to write, his latter books and plays did not reach the same levels of success as Cahir. Aimé Césaire died on April 17, 2008. Thanks for tuning in to Noir History. I publish a new Black History Fact profile every week, so subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. And I'm hoping to finally create some downloadables, so keep an eye on the Media Noir website.